Welcome to Madhuka tree talk. Madhu means honey. Madhuka, the tree which is known to yield best honey. So it is very important bee forage. It is also known as the Indian butter tree because its fruits, especially the seeds, they have the rich fatty oil composed of stearic acid, palmitic acid, linoleic acid, linolenic acid. So very useful as butter. So it is also known as the Indian butter tree. Madhuka longifolia, variety latifolia, earlier known as Madhuka indica. This is the tree which I planted in University of Jammu Botanical Garden in the year 1988. So we have the single tree in Jammu, whereas it is very common in Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Bihar, part of Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh. It has many local names. It is called Mahua, but also called as Maul in Bengali language. In Udiya it is called as Modgi or Mahulla. In Rajasthani it is by the Marwadis it is called as the Dolma. In Sri Lanka it is called Mi. In Tamil language it is called Ilupi. So there was a time when Madhuka longifolia was also called as Ilupi longifolia. In Telugu language it is called as Vippa. In Marathi language it is called as Mohbdo. Kannada language it is called as Ippemara. In Malayalam it is called as Ilupa or Poonam. Fatty oil, not only a source of important medicinal oil, but it also has the potential of biodiesel because of the rich hydrocarbon content. Flowers are fragrant and they are used for preparation of alcoholic beverages in central India, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh. It is sacred tree for the tribals. They celebrate it because it is very useful and multi-purpose tree, and their economy, not only economy, the food, not only food, but even the religious tribal rituals are associated with this tree. So Madhuka longifolia, variety latifolia or Madhuka indica, Mahua is very important tree for the tribal culture. Its seed oil has been traditionally used for various skin ailments, used as laxative. It is used for the treatment of rheumatism. So flowers are sun-dried and they are grinded to make the flour which is used for bread making. Even Mahua Puri is very famous, popular among the local Indians. The powdered flowers are added to the puri making and it tastes sweet. So sweet Mahua ki puri. It is also the source of Mahua wine. It is useful, especially the flower juice is useful for piles, hemorrhoids, and also used as emetic. Flowers are especially recommended to the lactating mothers for the enhancement of the breast milk as galactagogue, and this is also mentioned in Ayurveda. Madhuka indica, Madhuka longifolia presently, was earlier also known as Bessia longifolia or Ilippe longifolia or Madhuka latifolia, but present accepted name is Madhuka longifolia, variety latifolia. It has about 100 species and many of these species are threatened. They are vulnerable, mostly in the Borneo, Southeast Asia, and Sri Lanka, and even in South India. One of the species reported from Borneo, which is endemic to Borneo, that is Madhuka barbata, and barbata means bearded. So sepals are bearded. Another species, Erythrophylla. Madhuca erythrophylla is again from Borneo, and erythro means red, phylla means leaves, a red-leaved variety. We have many endemic species and especially vulnerable also to Sri Lanka. One is Madhuca fulva, which is vulnerable, found in Sri Lanka. Another is Madhuca microphylla. This is again endemic to Sri Lanka and it is endangered, found only in 2 locations. Another reported mahua from Sri Lanka is Madhuca nerifolia. It is endangered, leaves are nerium-like. We have another tree from Borneo which exists in the dipterocarp forests and it is again endemic, that is Madhuca lentifolia. South India, Kerala is very important for the indigenous endemic trees, especially Madhuca Vordolini, named after the conservator of forest Bordelon. So this is only found in Kerala and this is endangered. Another species found from South India and again this is threatened, that is Madhuca diplosteman. We have Madhuca oblongifolia from the Philippines as vulnerable taxa. Another species, Obatifolia. Madhuca obobatifolia, endemic to Philippines. We have Madhuca pallida from Borneo. We have Madhuca hainanensis from China, and another species Madhuca pasqueri, also found in Vietnam and China, which is vulnerable due to habitat loss. Even the Madhuca hainanensis from China is vulnerable species. Madhuca pubicalyx with soft-haired calyx, endemic to Borneo. Madhuca rufa is very important endemic mahua from Malaysia. Another species, Ridleyi, is again vulnerable and reported as endemic to Malaysia. We have Madhuca monticola and montana from Borneo forests. Madhuca monticola also exists found in Philippines. Madhuca montana grows up to 4,000 meter high altitude. Another species, Hortiflora, with hairy flowers, is reported from Borneo, Sumatra and Malaysia. So Madhuca obtusifolia is another species which is endemic to Malaysia. And from Malaysia we have another vulnerable species which is Madhuca sessiliflora. Madhuca spectabilis is a very spectacular tree and it is endemic to Borneo. Madhuca tomentosa is again endemic to Malaysia and threatened tree. Madhuca utilis, about 40 meter tall, is very useful timber and it is grows in swamps in Sumatra, Malaysia and Borneo. Madhuca vulpina, having the fox-like color of the indumentum, hairy growth like fox, so named as Madhuca vulpina, 30 meter tall tree from Malaysia. Another species named after botanist Geoffrey Wood is Madhuca woodii. It is again endemic to Borneo. Mahua flower is rich in nutrition. It is boon for pharmacy and also for the food industry. It is useful for the non-fermented foods. For example, halwa we can make out of the flowers. Even halwa puri, mahua barfi, mahua kheer, mahua jam, mahua jelly, mahua bar. Even the fermented beverages like mahua daru, mahuli alcoholic drink, even it is useful for the lactic acid formation, even used in brandy. It is using the Aspergillus niger. The flowers of mahua has been used for the production of citric acid. This is also useful against headache, for diarrhea, useful in eye troubles, for the skin care. This mahua, Madhuca, is a multi-purpose tree, rich source of sucrose, glucose, fructose, arabinose, Maltose ramenose, rich in calcium, phosphorus, vitamin C. It is rich in carotene, which is a precursor of vitamin A. It has rich minerals and vitamins and proteins and sugars, and useful for making the nutritious cake along with the greens and sweet potato, shakarkandi, as it is the tradition with the tribals. Its flower juice is recommended for the augmentation of breast milk, but only problem is the flowers are perishable, so they are either to be used freshly or they are to be sun dried and for the later use. In India, about 45,000 million tons flowers are annually produced. One tree can bear up to 80 to 320 kilogram of flowers. This is also reported as hepatoprotective. Flowers, antibacterial, anti-helminthic, even the bark is medicinal, which is reported to be anti-diabetic, anti-cancer. Flowers are also a rich source of flavonoids or antioxidant, especially the vitamin C. It is also useful after the seed oil is extracted, then whatever is left, that seed cake is fed to the cattle for the enhancement of milk production in the mulch cattle. It is along with various other plants like shetavar, asparagus officinalis, buttle, that is Sesamplas perira, bharangi, Clerodendron serratum or Rotheca serrata, even the fern Lygodium roots, kogad, which is Holerahina antidycentrica, dhai, Woodfordia fruticosa, flowers, and mahua seeds. All they are made into a preparation for the medicinal health benefits. In Ayurveda, even the roasted flowers have been recommended for the treatment of cough and bronchitis. Its flower use is good for eyes also. Flowers are astringent. They are useful in colitis. In the Odisha, university people, they have even produced other value-added products out of the flowers, as candy, as cake, toffee, squash, even laddu. Using the Saccharomyces cerevisiae, it has also been used for the wine making. Flowers are also reported useful for impotency. So this particular flower and the seed is a rich storehouse of minerals, vitamins, nutrition, and it need to be further propagated, planted during the ongoing Ban Mahotsav season. There are some other very important trees outside the Mahua, but in the same family. Family is Sapotaceae. Sapotaceae is basically the type genus Manilcara, Zapota, Chiku. Chiku is basically Mexican tree, and in Mexican language it is called as Zapote, and from Zapote Linnaeus made it Sapota, but at that time it was put under illegitimate genus Acras zapota, but presently the accepted name of Chiku is Manilcara sapota, and this is the Manilcara sapota from Sapota that we have the family name Sapotaceae. We have the allied genera along with the Madhuka. We also have Mimosas, that is called Moulsari, which is already seen planted in Jammu. Another species is Diplonema Botairaceae is another which is known as the Indian butter tree. We also have Manilcara khirni. One is Zapota Chiku, another is Manilcara hexandra, which is khirni. Khirni is also seen in our Janana Park. This is also seen in Mubarak Mandi complex. The milk tree, also called the milk tree. Even one of the plant, Manilcara chickli for the chewing gum. Even Gutta Parcha, which was before rubber was known to the industry. It was the latex of the Pellaquim guttapercha, Pellaquim latex, which was used for the rubber making. So how to distinguish the Manilkara, Chiku or Hexandra khirni, or Mimosas, which is Mulsari, or Madhuka, which is Mahua, and Butyracea, Diplonema butyracea, butter tree. So basic is, in case of Mahua, calyx 4 to 8, mostly 4 in our Mahua, Madhuka, longifolia, we see sepals are 4 in number, whereas the stamen number is 20 to 25. Corolla is 8-lobed and it is tubular. Corolla 8-lobed, and their stamens are found in 3 series. So in some of the allied genera we have also the staminodes, which are non-functional stamens, which are called staminodes. So if staminodes are present, then it can be either Manilkara, Hexandra, or Manilkara zapota, or Mimosas, Ilangi, Mulsari, or Khirni. In Khirni and Mulsari we have the staminodes. But in the flowers of Mahua, Madhuka, and also Diplonema butyracea or Esandra butyracea, which is another important butter yielding tree, or Gihi Briksh of Uttarakhand, here staminodes are absent. So with the help of this key we can identify different genera, either they are from Manilkara or Mimosas or Diplonema, Esandra or Madhuka. But its potential for future use of the seed oil as biodiesel, or even for making the value-added products, and it is also useful for the rearing of the tussar silkworm, which is Antheria paphia. So tussar silk, golden colored tussar silk, for that purpose also we can have the Mahua plantations. Another unique, it's cosmetic and hair oil, the skin care, hair care, even the good for the teeth troubles. We can use the twig of Mahua tree as a datun for cleaning our teeth and getting rid of any problems of the teeth. So this particular species, Mahua, having so far only one tree in Botanical Garden, University of Jammu, which was planted in the year 1988, and it is still flourishing. More Mahua trees need to be planted in the Shivalik region in the this season of monsoon, when we have already inaugurated Ban Mahotsava in most of the states of central India and southern India, and even in Jammu in the coming week we will be launching the tree planting campaign to mark the Ban Mahotsava in Jammu, and I think Mahua should be selected as the tree for further planting in the field.